examples, you'll be able to handle them because you know your basics. So remember that you can always go to your teacher or go to a textbook and ask them to give you much more difficult examples, and then apply the basics knowledge to those examples and enjoy success. Alright, now what I'm going to do is you need to take a small break for about 10 minutes now, and then come back, and then I will show you a trinomial and I'll show you how to work out whether it factorizes or doesn't factorize. Alright, welcome back. As promised earlier, here we want to show you how to determine whether a trinomial will factorize or not. Now firstly, if you want to know this, you must know what is a perfect square. So some examples of perfect squares are like 1, 4, 9, quarter, 0,25, etc. Those are perfect squares. So you need to know that. Once you know that, we can continue. Let's take an example. Let's take x squared minus 5x minus 6. And you want to know whether this can factorize or not. So firstly, if you want to know whether it can factorize or not, you have to know a few more things. You see, there's a number 1 that is understood here firstly. You have to know that. And secondly, you have to know that this number here is called A in maths. And then secondly, you have to know that this number here happens to be minus 5 and it is called B. And this number here is called C. Now, if you want to work out A, B and C, your trinomial must be set like this: x squared minus 5x minus 6. It must be set in descending order, right? So, first you got to identify A, B and C. So in this example here that I'm doing, A is 1, B is minus 5 and C is minus 6. So, if you wish to know whether trinomials can factorize, you need to first identify A, B and C. Now this is a very important thing because it will also help you later on when you're trying to draw graphs. Very important to identify A, B and C. It will also help you later on when you're trying to work out nature of roots. So I've identified A, B and C. Then what you do, you work out, just work this formula out: B squared minus 4AC. So B squared will be minus 5 squared minus 4. What is A? A is 1. What is C? C is minus 6. So you're substituting the values for B, A and C. And you get 25 minus that minus is plus 24. 4 times 1 is 4. 4, 6, 24. Final answer is 49. Now, if B squared minus 4AC is a perfect square, then the trinomial will factorize. So, if you look at this example we're doing, we worked out B squared minus 4AC. And it is a perfect square. You can, if you actually take this calculator and you find square root of 49, you will see it will give you exactly 7, so it is a perfect square. So, is B squared minus 4AC a perfect square here? Yes. Therefore, x squared minus 5x minus 6 will factorize. That's how you find out whether a trinomial, a quadratic trinomial will factorize or not. Find the values of A, B and C, substitute in B squared minus 4AC. If the final answer is a perfect square, then the trinomial will factorize. Let's do another example. 0.13. We had x cubed minus x squared minus x. We factorized it and we got x into x squared minus x minus 1. So in other words, the trinomial here is x squared minus x minus 1. That's the trinomial. So let's see what is A, B and C. Well, clearly the 1 is understood, so that's A. So that's A. Here the 1 is also understood. So B, so here A is 1. Here B is minus 1. And here is C. And C is minus 1. So what we do now? We work out B squared minus 4AC. B squared minus 4AC. Of course, when you get used to all this, you're going to work it out in your head. You're going to do it mentally. B squared will be minus 1 squared minus 4 into A is 1 and C is minus 1. Right. When you work that out, you get 1 minus a minus is plus 4 times that. 4 times 1 is 4. Final answer is 5. 5 is not a perfect square. If you put in a calculator and find square root of 5, you're going to get 2,414 or something like that. So it's not a perfect square. You're supposed to get an exact answer. So it's not a perfect square. Therefore, x squared minus x minus 1 will not factorize. Alright? So that's how you determine whether a trinomial will factorize or it will not. So what I'm going to do now, I'll just give you 2 examples and I want you to determine whether they will factorize or not. So let me give you those 2 examples. Alright, here's a little exercise, just 2 examples. Determine whether the following trinomials will factorize. Number 1, x squared plus x minus 12. Number 2, x squared plus 5x minus 20. So what you can do now is just switch off the DVD and work these examples out and come back and I will give you the solutions. Alright, so here are the solutions. Firstly, you got to identify A. So here A is 1. Oh, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. Let's do it neatly. So we had x squared minus x minus 12. Right, so you want the solutions. So here's the solutions now. Firstly, I've got to identify A, B and C. Let me write the question down again. There's x squared minus x minus 12. So, there's A here. A is understood to be 1. There's B here. There's your A, there's your B. Well, again, that 1 is understood. And there's your C. So clearly, A is 1, B is minus 1, C is minus 12. B squared minus 4AC is equal to minus 1 squared minus 4 into A, which is 1, and C, which is minus 12. That gives you 1. Put all this in your calculator. Minus and minus actually is plus, and that 4 times 12 gives you 48. Final answer is 49. So if you try to find square root of 49 in the calculator, you'll get exactly 7. So 49 is a perfect. 49 is a perfect square. Therefore, this trinomial will factor rise. Okay, so that's number 1. Right, so here is number 2. Clearly, A is 1, B is 5. See? Right. A is 1, B is 5, C is minus 20. B squared minus 4AC is equal to 5 squared minus 4 into A into C. So you get 25. Put that in your calculator, you get plus 80. Add it up, you get 105. When you find the square root of 105 in the calculator, you're going to get an answer which is 10, comma something something something. It won't be exact. So 105 is not a perfect square. Therefore, never mind how much you try, x squared plus 5x minus 20 will not factor rise. Well, later on in some other sections, you will learn that if they don't factorize, you can get answers using a formula and so on, but that's not important for you now. For you, you just have to work out whether it will factorize or not. This one, 105. 105, not a perfect square, therefore this quadratic will not factorize. Therefore, I won't waste my time trying and trying and trying, because I know it won't factorize. I won't try to factorize it. So that's the end of the story with that. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, so we are going to end factorization with this one little example over here. Remember that we are only doing the basics with you. And I'm going to take this one example. You can call it a brain teaser if you like. Or I put a star here and I'll call you a star if you can get it right. So what you do, try this first. Let me see what you can do. All I'm going to tell you is that look, it does factorize. It's going to take you some time and you're going to try and try and try and you're going to get it right. Alright, so what you do, stop the DVD now. Try as much as you like. Try different possibilities and see what you can do. Alright, so here is a solution. Now, firstly, let me think how you may have been thinking. Maybe you said, let me try. This is just try. Maybe you said, let's try and put the 6ab here together and put the minus 9a squared here, because you look at the a's, and then you said, let me put the 2 together, then I'll get a difference of 2 squares. And maybe you try to remove a from here and you got 6b minus 9a, and then you said, well, this is c plus b into c minus b, and you tried all these funny things, but it's not helping you because you're not getting a common factor. So, you tried your best, and not your best, you tried. This is not your best try, this is one of your tries. You tried this and it didn't work. Then you straight away, you realize that, no, wait, this is wrong. Then you tell yourself, well, there may be other possibilities. You see, you are grouping 2 at a time. What if I have to group 3? And when you say, what if I have to group 3? Then if you have a good look, then you'll find that, look, you got 6ab here. You got an a here, a 9a minus 9ab, and you got a minus b there. Alright? So it's better to separate our work, and let's say we took that and then we realized, no, that's not helping us, so there must be another way to do it. And then you said, well, let's see, let's put the c squared here, and we're going to group those. If I'm grouping those together, that means I'm trying to create a trinomial. So let me put the minus 9a squared there, and then better I put the 6ab in the middle, and I better put the minus b squared in the end. So what's happening now is I'm grouping this 3 together. So there's c squared, and to make my life easy, I want to take out a minus from all of this. So if I take out a minus 1 common factor, I'll be left with minus divided by minus is plus. So I'll be left with 9a squared plus 6 divided by minus 1 will give me minus 6ab, and minus b squared divided by minus 1 will give me plus b squared. Right? So I've done that. And then I have a good look at this part here. I have a good look at this part here, and I realize that this can be factorized. This is a trinomial that can be factorized, and it is actually 3a minus b all squared. Now I'm not going to do all the working for you, but you can test it out. 3a times 3a will give you 9a squared. 3a times minus b will give you minus 3ab, times 2 will give you minus 6ab. And minus b squared will give you plus b squared. Right. So I have factorized that trinomial here. Or if you want to do it on one side, this is what you'll say. You'll say like, look, I got 9a squared, that means I got 3a and 3a for this one. Then for b squared I got b and b. So I got no other choice. I'm factorizing this trinomial. So let me multiply. But in the middle I need minus. Therefore this and this have to be minus, because minus b times minus b will give me plus b. So if I multiply, that will give me minus 3ab. If I multiply, this will give me minus 3ab. If I add, I get minus 6ab. So I got my middle term correct. So the top 2 goes in one bracket, the bottom 2 goes in one bracket. So if you like, I will write it normally. So I have to write it 2 times, isn't it? Then I realized, look, instead of writing it 2 times, I can write it like this: 3a minus b all squared. And when I did this, I realized that this is a difference of 2 squares. So what I've got here is c plus square root of c squared is c. Square root of this bracket squared is the bracket itself. So this bracket will be plus, and this bracket will be minus. And if I like, I can even remove the brackets inside the bracket. Inside here I can remove it. So I can say c plus 3a minus b into c. Minus times 3a will give me minus 3a. Minus times minus b will give me plus b. And there's my final answer, and it has factorized. Just one example to show you that, look, all the basics are being used over here, but it takes a little bit of time. You will try first, you may not succeed. You don't give up, you try again. And remember, this is a very nice example. What I would say is, this is the hardest things can get, but it takes a little bit of time, and it takes 1 try, 2 try, 3 try. It'll take several tries, but you'll get it right. So don't give up when you get examples like this. Take your time, try, and try again. Alright, so thank you very much, and that's where we will